Is this ninjutsu? How about this? What about this? As you guys see, that those are techniques that I'm doing in YouTube Shorts. Now, I've had a lot of people ask why we do so many YouTube Shorts that's really based on striking skills, whether it's striking skills on heavy bags, striking skills for self-defense, or striking skills for grappling. So the reason we have so many shorts is because I have so many online students in the online dojo that follow along. And every day we post shorts so people can do a new technique every single day. The techniques that we post on shorts are not necessarily something that they need to know going forward, although some of the techniques are official kata. But a lot of them are just striking drills on heavy bags or self-defense techniques or striking combinations that they can work on with their shadow boxing. And the reason I think that's so important is because striking is a fundamental skill that you have to have if you're going to be a martial artist. I have made so many videos in the past, Taijutsu is not ninjutsu. And I'll say it again, Taijutsu is not ninjutsu. However, here at the Budo Ryu Kai we have 7 warrior traditions. One of those traditions is Kokuru Kempo. And fist fighting and using striking techniques as a form of self-defense and martial arts is a fundamental practice here in this organization. Now, I know a lot of people like to argue what's better, striking or grappling. Well, if you're truly into self-defense, then you should need to learn both, which we also have jujitsu. We have Tenjin Ryu Jujutsu here within this organization. However, we focus so much on striking because no matter where you are, you can always strike inside a combative situation. Whether you're at level 3, level 2, level 1, whether you're in the clinch, whether you're on the ground, it doesn't matter. In any combative situation, you can always strike. But you can't always grapple unless you're in a grappling situation. However, as a school of martial arts, right, we teach Koryu, Japanese martial arts, and we have these 7 traditions. The truth of the matter is, striking is not always the best option for everybody. And what we want to do is have a set of skills that everybody can practice and train with so they can hone their skills and use it for self-defense. Now, of course, part of training is to know whether to strike or not to strike, or know when to pull a concealed weapon or not to pull a concealed weapon. Anyone who follows me knows that I'm a huge advocate for concealed carry and that sort of thing. But you got to know when to grapple, when not to grapple. You want to know, any type of situational awareness, understand the environment. All these things gets factored in, but no matter what, we want to make sure that the teachings and the practice that we do fits for everyone. So we do focus a lot on striking, particularly in these YouTube shorts, because I think it's a fundamental skill set that every one of our students should be practicing every single day. Now, when people join the online dojo, they get all the level 1 lessons and they're going through the lessons and they learn the different strikes and kicks and locks and throws and both striking, grappling, all that kind of stuff, whatever we're doing on the level. But they still work on that level and that's what they get till they pass the level. When you come to a dojo, whether it's here at the Hanbu dojo or one of our other dojos, you get to train every day, you work on your densho, you work on your level, you're also working on self-defense, whatever training drills we're doing for the day. It kind of changes up, They don't really change that much in the online dojo. So what I've decided to do is every single day, and I've done this now for a little over a year, every single day I post some sort of a combination, a drill, whether it's punching the bags, shadow boxing drill, shadow boxing technique, and I might splice in a technique of maybe a professional fighter doing it, whether it's a boxer or a kickboxer or a MMA fighter or maybe a traditional tournament fighter or something like that. And just so there's a visual, of course it helps the YouTube channel grow, but it gives the students an opportunity to say, okay, today Soke is playing this video and she wants us to do a double jab to a cross. So I throw a double jab to a cross up or whatever we're doing. But it gives the individual, the student that's an online student, a 15 to 30 second video that they can look at and say, okay, I'm gonna add that striking technique to today's lesson. And then every day there's another one. And the next day there's another one. And then the next day there's another one. So I try to put up new striking techniques consistently every single day so that my online students, my viewers, my subscribers, my followers get a new technique that they can work on every single day. This channel is based on teaching traditional Japanese martial arts and self-defense and survival. That's what we do. And I know that sometimes people will say, well, if you teach traditional Japanese martial arts or, Koryu or whatever, it should be self-defense. That's not always true either. Sometimes martial arts is what it is, martial arts. So we have, Koryu, Ninjutsu, bujutsu, right? Self-defense, survival. And that's what our organization is on. And I think it's great to have a technique every single day that people can watch. And then when they're doing their daily workouts and they're working on the Kihon and they're working on their kata, they just go to their phone and be like, okay, that's the shadow boxing drill that I'm going to do. And you do it, 10 reps right, 10 reps left, just to work on some coordination footwork, and then you're done with it. Next day is going to be another technique. But striking is a fundamental skill in martial arts. It's absolutely fundamental. And the idea of being able to control your body, block, punch, kick, move, and be able to do a variety of different combinations in a variety of different ways is something that you have to have that fundamental skill. And regardless of the distance, who you are, or what size you are, you can always strike. When I get these comments on some of my videos and say, well, that's not ninjutsu, that's not ninjutsu, you claim to be a ninjutsu dojo, well, why are you, okay, we are a ninjutsu dojo. That is the principle, that is the fundamental principle lesson of this organization. The Budo Ryu Kai School of the Warrior Way is a ninjutsu organization that has 7 warrior traditions, 5 areas of training, and focuses on Ninpo, focuses on authentic ninjutsu. But in that scope, Taijutsu is part of training, and self-defense is part of training, and self-protection is part of training. And doing that, you have to understand striking. You have to have that particular skill if you're going to be a member of this organization.